Hi guys, this is Joav for Pace Athletic. Today we're doing a first impression run on the Kinvara Pro. Quite a long expected model. We've been looking forward to have it for a long time. Kinvara Pro, which has nothing to do with what a stock standard Kinvara will be. I think the Kinvara fan won't exactly be served with this one. We've got something completely different. I'll say step-in feel, it's pretty nice actually. Didn't really know what to expect. There is all the bells and whistles on that. You've got PWRRUN PB, which is Saucony top-end foam. Got a PWRRUN Plus insole. Got a PWRRUN core at the bottom to stabilize the shoe. In between the PB and the PWRRUN, we've got the carbon plate, nicely sandwiched. And it's a 3/4 carbon plate. It's not even a full one, so some people will be a bit surprised. I think it's really nice. Like as a first impression, we're doing pretty well. It feels very light and it even runs lighter than it actually is. So that's quite good, especially for that stack. I think we're talking about 42mm of stack and then 34 at the front for an 8mm drop. That's good. It feels a little bit lower, the drop, just because of the rocker. From what I can feel so far, you operate the shoe from the rocker. It's a pretty boisterous midsole with a fairly stiff geometry, so you really use that 4-foot rocker a lot. Reminds me a lot of the endorphin shift actually, for having used it a couple times. You're looking at a very similar geometry and feel, just slightly less firm, which I love. From what I can gauge so far, long run, I wouldn't say that I can go threshold with that based on all this combo of elements. Maybe also something that'd be good to push up to tempo paces. I think for marathon training, when you're trying to go for a long run with a really consistent pace, it feels like it'd be very easy to just get in these and forget about them. Just run. I was worried that they will be a little bit unstable, but that has vanished. Feels very nice. There is like a pretty big sidewalls in there, which keeps the ride quite centered. I find right now it's very wet on the floor and I have very good traction, especially when you go on a long run and your leg starts to be a little bit fatigued. You don't want to start slipping everywhere. The SE trainer is a similar shoe, similar stack height, with the version 2 slightly lower actually, but very similar purpose shoe that you use for. As a training companion probably to a racing shoe, with New Balance it'll be the SE Elite. With Saucony I will put it with the Endorphin Elite and not the Pro actually, but coming back to the SE trainer, it's an amazing shoe as well. If you want a trampoline, I like a trampoline, but that feels a lot more stable to me and a lot more guided. So depends on what you're after. I think also when the shoes are really soft, it puts a bit more work in a stabilizing muscle, so I feel less fatigue will come with those as opposed to the SC trainer. Which is interesting because I don't think they're trying to make a leg saving shoe here, and more like a middle of the pack racer / workout shoe. But I see myself racing a marathon if I was to not try to trash myself with those. Something noticeable, or maybe actually not so noticeable, is the carbon plate. You just don't get any harshness from the place. in the back part of your foot, in the heel and in the midfoot, because it's a 3/4 plate. Okay, it reminded me of the first Magic Speed, which was a bit of a controversial shoe, but I loved the fact that it's a bit softer on the foot, in the heel. It's actually really nice, and if you're gonna use that as a training companion, that will be really lovely. And if you're gonna race with it, but you're a bit of a slower runner, it's probably my case, to be honest, you'll enjoy that over the course of a marathon as well. For a half marathon, I will want something a bit punchier, but for full, I'll be delighted with this personally. Picking up a little, it wants to go, but it doesn't want to go too fast. It's just happy at that steady, just below tempo. Yeah, that's very nice.